New polls have just come in on whether if you think the country's going in the right direction or the wrong direction, or if it's on the right track or the wrong track. And Biden's numbers right now are about 70% of the people believe that the country's on the wrong track. Now, anytime a candidate flipped the party and won it from another presidency, it was always because of those numbers got over 50% wrong track. That is, half of America thinks that we're on the wrong track with Joe Biden. That's over the economy. That's not going to change by November. It's over for Biden. The only question now on this ex-candidate is to ask, who are the Democrats going to replace him with? Welcome to Doug in Exile. Let's talk about just the abject failure of Biden as he slobbers and embarrasses himself in public once again, saying that he's proud to have stood next to a black man. Is that any black people out there super impressed with that Biden is finally willing to stand by a black man?
Look, we were told if he's indicted, that's it. Well, he had 4 indictments. That wasn't it. He continued to rise in the polls. We were told if there's a mugshot, that's it. That wasn't it.
This is about all the people, all the naysayers against Trump, which fine. Some people had their doubts. I did not, only because when they said that he's going to get a mugshot, they didn't realize that Trump's message is penetrating into the general public. So anyways, all these newscasters are they're responding to the polls that got it all wrong because they forgot to cook into the account that people in general think Trump is being hunted by the Democrat Party.
We're told if the court case began, that's it. It hasn't been it. He's continued to rise in the polls.
And he's going to continue to rise in the polls. These economic problems and the race problems that Biden have will not be fixed in 5 months.
Ipsos knowledge poll is this. What are you closely following the news on? Well, 65% said they're closely following inflation. All the way at the bottom, under immigration and all these other issues, is 42% who are following the trial.
So people in general are not that interested in the trial. Overall, they're more interested in inflation. Like I said before, what is Biden going to do to turn inflation around? He has no options. The other thing is, you'll see Biden, how desperate he was, because Trump is doing so well during these court cases. It's kept Trump going out on the street and talking to people on the street, shaking hands with the common man. And that's why Biden pulled the trigger and begged De Niro to go out on the streets on his behalf. See, it was supposed to be a big New York street effort. It's Biden conceding, going, I want to be like Trump. If Trump goes out on the street and talks to the people, I got to get one of my side to go out to the people. Of course, De Niro totally backfired on him.
Look at that doubling of support for Donald Trump from 10% up to 21%. Boris, Brianna, if that held through the election, it would be the best performance for Republican presidential candidate among black voters in 64 years since Richard Nixon.
That's black voters coming out for Trump. Biden thought, you know what? The Democrats said, we're going to throw the blacks. We're just going to throw them under the bus. We're all done with them. Okay. We need to bring in some Hispanics from over the border. We need to get some of our border people in here. And the blacks just said, you have been lying to us all this time. And they turned away from numbers are going to Trump.
If you want to break down the black electorate and figure out where exactly is this declining support for Joe Biden coming from, take a look at this age breakdown. Look here. If you look at those black voters age 50 and over, they're still overwhelmingly supporting Joe Biden. Look at that, 85% to 8%. But look at black voters under the age of 50. Donald Trump, in a recent average of polls, is getting, get this, 27% support from them. Joe Biden at just 64%.
And with those numbers, that's enough for any Republican to win. By the way, older blacks are still going for Biden. We found one of those old blacks in this video clip. Watch this.
MAGA extremists ban books. Did you ever think if you're anybody over 30 years old, you'd go through a period where banning books in America? They're trying to erase black history. We're going to write black history because it's American history. That's why I'm proud to have the most diverse administration in history. It taps into the full talents of our country. And it starts at the top with the vice president. On Memorial Day, I proudly stood with a black man.
That's all it takes to get some black votes. On Memorial Day, I proudly stood with a black man. They're all, Let's vote for the rich white millionaire. Okay.
So, you know, we were talking about, you heard that interview, can't treat black voters as a monolith. This age breakdown shows it. It shows that younger black voters are far less supportive of the president than older black voters are.
This is also cool because CNN is finally learning that you can't treat black voters as a monolith. They're going, we thought all blacks were the same. They're shocked to find out that they're going like, whoa, we didn't know you people think different from each other.
What type of damage would that do to him in the Electoral College? Well, if you just took that into account and you didn't shift any other voters, take a look here in 2020, based upon the current apportionment, Joe Biden would win 303 electoral votes to Donald Trump's 235. But take into account that shift among black voters. Now, with just this shift among black voters, Donald Trump wins in the Electoral College, 291 electoral votes to 247.
Because Trump is now winning Biden, and the Democrats go, you know, the easiest way to reverse this is just trick all these gullible black voters into coming back and voting for Biden. That's going to be one of their big, they just launched a giant get out the black vote campaign because they think, hey, this should be the easiest low hanging fruit. We're going to go get them and get them back on the plantation, so to speak. I think the young black voters are smarter than that. I think the young black voters are going, you know, this economy stinks. I don't feel like I have a future in this country because of what this guy is doing to this economy.
That the states that shift are Arizona, Georgia, Pennsylvania, where Kevin is right now, and Wisconsin. That alone would do it, and that is why black voters are so pivotal to Joe Biden's chances to win re-election.
And I just want to break out those pivotal states because on my side, on the right side, everyone's going like, we got to fix the ballot box. We got to get the ballots and the ballots and the ballots. I'm like, oh no, guys, there's something much bigger afoot turning with Trump. You cannot make up for this amount of black votes that are shifting to Trump, and up to a point that this was the only hope of flipping Arizona was getting this many young black votes. Georgia was already in there. Pennsylvania and Wisconsin, though, those two are almost always out of Trump's reach. You have Milwaukee and Wisconsin, and they're turning to Trump. Today, if the numbers stick as is, Trump gets Arizona, Georgia, Pennsylvania, Washington. There is no electoral map that makes it possible for Biden to win. Remember, guys, we're going to start saying it now. Biden is no longer the Democrat candidate. They are not going to sit down and let him lose this. Biden is a dead candidate. All done for him.
Harry Anton, alarms going off on the Democratic side. A big opening for Republicans. That is an alarm right there. Harry
Absolutely. It's a huge alarm. It's spiraling. It's ambulance. It's police sirens. It's any alarm you can think of. That should be what's going off on the Democratic side. These numbers, to be honest, could be deadly to Joe Biden's campaign.
Yeah, and it's done because he's not going to be able to turn the economy around by November. What's he going to do? He can like try and jack up, give away money to college students. That doesn't help black voters, young black voters, watching him give away rich white kids free college. They're going, having him open up the southern border. That's not helping black voters. They're going, they're coming in and getting our jobs, our no college, low education, cheaper jobs. Suddenly, they're going to be without jobs. You've already had just decades, practically generations of the Democrat Party destroying the black family. And now we're going to see a change because Trump is going to win. This is part of the proof, guys. If you believe me, give us a thumbs up. Say, we still believe, we still support Trump. I'm Doug in Exile.